Tonight we had ground beef enchiladas. Here's what you're gonna need. You're gonna need some dried chile guajillo, some chile ancho, some chile de árbol, as well as some chile chipotle peppers. You're also gonna need some onions, garlic, a green bell pepper, cilantro, ground beef, and some corn tortillas. Starting off with my enchilada sauce, I went ahead and removed the stems and de-seeded all of my dried peppers just by cutting them open and shaking them into a little bowl. And I put all of those into a pan and lightly toasted these for just about 2 or 3 minutes. Then I went ahead and covered them with water and added in my quartered onion and some of those garlic. And then I put the lid on that and let it simmer for about 10-15 minutes. And I went ahead and chopped up my garlic, my onion, my bell pepper, and my cilantro for my ground beef later. By this time, I went ahead and put everything into the blender. Then I went ahead and seasoned that with some of my Mexican blend seasoning, as well as some tomato bouillon and chicken bouillon. I also added in some tomato paste and some frozen green bell peppers. And I just covered that with water, the remaining water that was in the pot, and blended that. And I added some more, and I just blended it again. Then into a pan on the stove, I added some oil, let that get hot, and poured the sauce back in just to cook this down for a few minutes. And I blended a little more water just to get the rest of what was in there out, and I added that in. Once that was all cooked, I went ahead and ran that through a fine mesh strainer just so that I could get all of the pulp out. And after doing this, you're just going to be left with some little pieces so you have a nice smooth sauce. Then I went ahead and cooked my ground beef, and I seasoned that with some Mexican blend seasoning as well as some beef bouillon. And I just cooked that until it was brown, and then I added in those garlic, onions, and green bell peppers. Then I added a couple of ladlefuls of the enchilada sauce over the top of that and finished it with the cilantro. Once I was ready to layer it up, I started with some enchilada sauce, and I just dipped my tortillas in the enchilada sauce, put the beef in there, some cheese, and layered those up. And I put the sauce on top, topped it off with cheese, and sprinkled it with some dried cilantro because I didn't have any more fresh. Put those in the oven till the cheese was melted, and there you have it. Hope you guys enjoy. If you try it, let me know.